Romans chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Call HALALYAM La YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and teach well, orderly and fervently through the Spirit. To the Akim, my fellow laborers, pushing the word out in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the Akim, YAHAWAH, listening and learning, being doers of the word and abiding in the faith. And to the speckled birds scattered abroad that look like the other nations but are truly Yasharallah through the Spirit, Shalom wa Barakatam. This is your brother Ariah, and this is going to be another 3 precepts. This is number 38. And I'm going to be going into exactly what I mentioned always in the intro, the speckled bird, all right, which are the Israelite foreigners, okay? So that's why I read this verse, Romans chapter 8 and verse 16, okay? Because we judge through the Spirit, okay? Everything is spiritual. So we have to walk according to the Spirit and not according to the flesh, okay? Because a lot of people can't understand, you know, when brothers are saying, hey, well, Bruce Lee, through the Spirit, he's an Israelite. You know, who else? Some brothers say, you know, Bob Marley, even though he appears to have an Edomite father, okay, he's an Israelite, because this is a world famous dude. Everybody knows Bob Marley. He popularized, you know, that Rasta culture and, you know, that music and dreadlocks and things like that. Okay, because dreadlocks, if you didn't know, those are actually called Shiva Jatas. Okay, that clumped up hairstyle, that's a heathen custom. But Jake, Israelites popularized it, and everyone thinks that it came from us when it didn't. All right, Jake is the salt of the earth. Okay, and then you got Israelites that you see all over the world, man. We're scattered across the 4 corners of the earth, you know. So there's things like being very good at dancing, being very good singers. All right, that's not all that we look at, right? But it's a really good indicator. All right, and you just have to look at everything through the Spirit, because these other nations don't have the salt that we do. All right, just to make a long story short. So this is really coming out through the Spirit, because there's this dude on Instagram that messaged me who calls himself Repentant Edomite. And he sent me this message, and I never saw it until the other day. He said, "Sir, I'd like to express how impressed I am by the teachings of the true Israelites. I've made a confession. If it might be of any interest to you, I posted it on my profile, sir. I am bowing down to you on my knees, sir." I was like, what the hell? So I went to his profile, right? If we go right here, he has 2 posts. This one's a video. It's kind of long, and it's hard to hear him, so I'm not going to play that one. But he was pretty much saying the same shit. So he said, confession. And just to preface this, you know, I'm not being like disrespectful or rude to him or targeting him in any way. I don't mean to. I actually, you know, have a good feeling that he is, you know, he very well may be an Israelite himself. Okay. And why I say that, you know, I'm going to read the message, because I sent him a message and he saw it, so I'll read that afterwards. But he said, confession of an Edomite / Esau / Caucasian, so-called Caucasian man, because so-called white people aren't even Caucasian either. They stole that identity just like they stole all these other identities. You know, just to go into that real quick, Irish, Scottish, British, those are not their identities. Those are not their cultures. Those are not their lands. Okay, after the Israelites, right, the so-called Moors, right, what you know as the Byzantine Empire, we were dispersed, we were displaced and deported from those lands, because you go into the history, it was so-called Negroes during the Byzantine Empire for around 1,000 years that were ruling Europe. Yes, this is history. You can look at the Black Scots, the Black Brits, the Irish Celts. Those were so-called Negroes who we know today as so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Okay, we were dispersed out of those lands, but it was originally us there. That's where you get the 1611 King James Bible. Okay, during that time. All right. I don't want to, that's a whole other thing. That's some history to go into, but just to give you the quick rundown, it was us in those lands. It was Israelites in those lands. And Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, went and took over and whitewashed the history. So just to show you that, they be stealing identities. It's not really who they are. They are Edomites. Okay, and they're not white. That's why we say so-called. They're actually red. Their blood shows forth through their skin. But anyway, appearance don't even matter like that either. Because again, we're dispersed all around all four corners of the earth. So you can't even judge off of appearance. And you shouldn't judge off of appearance. The scriptures say, I'll get it. John chapter 7 verse 24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Simple, plain. So this dude said, I confess that I am burdened with terrible iniquities of my race and of myself. I was always envious of the perfectness of the true Israelites. However, I was too proud to accept their superiority over me. That's why I lied to myself and others, sharing those racist views. Psalms 58 and 3. Psalms chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So he's saying that he recognized that is true, that the scriptures are true. Psalms 58 and 3. Because Edomites do be lying as soon as they be born. You see videos there was a viral video of a young Edomite little girl that was like a black man came inside the house and ate the cookies. Like, how the hell would she even know to say some shit like that? At that point in time, like, they'll say that, they learned it from the parents and all that. Why would a Edomite woman upload that video of herself like that? She's clearly like, she didn't learn that from us. We would never be racist like that. And she could be lying, of course, but still, you really young for a little girl to be saying some shit like that. Like, come on now. That's Esau Edom. And no, we know that is, the scriptures are true, and we know that that's true. All right, they do be lying even as little toddlers and shit. But anyway, so he's recognizing, he's humbling himself, saying that scripture is true. A shocking experience in my life shattered my fake so-called Caucasian pride and showed me my physical and moral weakness. In the wake of it, I learned about the true Israelites' teachings. First, I was trying hard to debunk it, but my effort to find evidence against it led me to the cognition that it is true. I can hardly describe the despair of a man whom the creator of the heavens and the earth hates. Right. Romans 9 and 13, going into Esau have I hated, right? But Jacob have I loved. I confess that hand in hand with the envy, the hatred comes. I am the wicked of the earth, Ezekiel 7:21. So it is righteous to hate me just like the Most High does. Obadiah 1 and 2. I confess, this dude going precept upon precept, man. That's something only Jake can do. I confess that I am not any better than the Edomites who actually enslaved the Israelites. It's just the fact that our power is crumbling and the indescribable dread of the Most High's wrath which prevents me from acting like them. I know that I deserve severe punishment and that I'll get it. I will get double for the atrocities committed by my demonic race. Revelation 18 and 6. Okay, reward her, double. Give unto her double. All right, so double the oppression, double the torture, double the beatings. I'll pay with my sweat, tears, and blood for my iniquities. Numbers 35, 33, 34, right? So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are. The land cannot be cleansed except by the blood of him that shed it. Okay? I don't dare to beg for forgiveness or mercy. I know that I don't deserve it. My only hope that my present humility might lead to a somewhat less severe fate. be it one less lash or punch. There won't be any need to break my resistance if I submit voluntarily. I am a devil, but the defeated devil who accepts his defeat. I am bowing down to you on my knees, true Israelites. Now look, bro, it's an anomaly. You are an anomaly if you are actually an Edomite. But that's exactly why I personally am like, bro, ain't no way you're an Edomite. And actually, if you listen to this video, right? All right, let me pause the music.
All praises to the Most High. Please, true Israelites, accept many humble greetings from an inferior Edomite. I confess that I am the wicked of the earth. I confess that I am the devil the Bible speaks of. I confess that I am full of hatred to you, true Israelites, God's chosen people, because I am very envious of your...
Okay, I'll leave a link in the description so y'all can listen to the whole thing if you want, but judging by his voice, he don't even sound like an Edomite. All right, he sounds like a so-called East Indian. He sounds like an Elamite on top of that. You know, he has like kind of pale-ish skin, but again, your appearance don't matter. There's plenty of nations that look like other nations and all that. So why would we judge off of how you look or how you sound? Okay, so you might not even really be an Edomite, you know. But my point is that to have a spirit like that, to humble yourself like that, yeah, we've seen a couple of Edomites, kiss boots and stuff, but that's the thing is like, that's really not, I don't know, it's not enough to go on, okay? So none of us can say for sure, right? We have faith, we have strong confidence in the things that we speak, right? But certain things like, okay, speaking as a man, I personally don't believe that this dude is an Edomite, okay? I'd say you have a good chance of actually being an Israelite with the humility that you have, the precepts that you put down there. That's very interesting, all right? Because Esau, Edom, even in these debates, he can't do that, okay? You listening to you said the true Israelites' teachings and things like that. I would say like, that's good. Stay humble, but don't have a depressed, going around messaging people, because you got stupid ass Jakes in the comments talking about, yeah, bow down and shit. Bow down to the gods, need to kiss my boot liquor, and all this dumb shit. Like, Jake, you stupid as hell, bro. So, but that's pretty much what prompted, me to go into this, but it's not about him. I say this to like anyone out there, right, that's unsure or you have some doubt. I'd say, look, okay, just watch the brother's videos. I'm not telling you to go out on the highways and hedges and teach, but just keep watching brothers' videos, keep up with the prophecies, learn from, yes, the true Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians that are out there on the highways and hedges and consistently and faithfully doing videos. Continue to watch, continue to learn. Okay, that's good. But don't be like, I'm just the Edomite, there's no hope for me, No. Pray to YAHAWASHI. If you can receive the truth and you're sincere, hope that you are an Israelite. Don't just be like, I'm bowing down to the true Israelites and let these dudes come in your comments and talk down on you. Nah, man, that's not it. Okay, you should have hope. All right, you should have hope, at least. Have hope. Unlike these damn Christians, right? These so-called Christians, these plantation Christians that are saying, I'm spiritual Israel, and oh no, well, God loves everyone. Then you're over here spreading lies. Okay, then you're being a false prophet. You're spreading false doctrine. Those people are through, right? But you can acknowledge the fact that yes, we are the true Israelites, and yes, we are teaching the truth and sound doctrine. Mainly the men and the apostles and elders on down of Great Millstone and like-minded brothers. That's good. Listen, continue to learn, and hold out hope that you are an Israelite and the Lord will have mercy on you. So that's my spiritual counsel to you. That's my spiritual advice to you. Don't be all depressed and just think that you're done for. All right, because you don't know. All right, so I just want to go over some precepts real quick. I'll go to Jeremiah 12 and 9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. Right, because we have been compassed round about by our enemies, by read Psalms chapter 83 towards the beginning. You know, it goes into how the nations have taken crafty counsel against us. We've been devoured by the birds of the field, by these other nations. And a speckled bird, what is a speckled bird? A speckled bird is a bird of diverse patterns and colors, right? It says Ephraim, I believe, is a cake not turned, right? You have a cake, you know, a loaf of bread or whatever, right? You're baking a cake. One side is cooked, the other side is not, right? A cake not turned, one side is lighter than the other. Okay, these are simple similitudes to understand. Okay, Hosea 8 and 8, Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure. Right. That's what happened during the Greek captivity and beyond, right? Into the New Testament, you're reading about how we were dispersed among the Gentiles. You know, you had these Pharisees and Sadducees and all these other guys that were very reluctant, very unwelcoming of the Israelite foreigners, right? Who they referred to as Gentiles, even though they were not natural Gentiles. They weren't actual heathens. They were just Gentiles, you know, in terms of the customs, right? They were Hellenized, right? The Hellenized Israelites that were, we were Hellenized at some point in time. I mean, our whole lives before we came into the truth, we were Hellenized Israelites here in America, keeping the customs of these damn Edomites and other nations, right? Shaving our beards off, wearing skinny jeans and Crocs, okay, like the brother Isaiah says. Looking through out here, man. Our women wearing pants and showing off their bodies, and everybody going to public gyms and shaking their ass in front of everyone and walking around shirtless and stuff like that. We were Hellenized like a mother effer here in America ourselves. So how it wasn't any different back in the ancient world. That's why they called them Gentiles. Like, y'all some Gentiles, y'all some sellouts. You are some damn heathens yourselves. It's like when you call somebody an Uncle Tom. Oh, you ain't really black. You ain't down with the cause. You're not really about it. You're not really about this pro-black business. It's the same situation. Okay, so they weren't literal. The New Testament Gentiles were not literal heathens. They were Israelite foreigners. Spoke different languages, kept different customs, but through the Spirit and seed line, bloodline, they were Israelites. They just didn't know it. You know? So they were swallowed up. They became as Gentiles, as a vessel wherein is no pleasure. Okay? Ezekiel, matter of fact, Psalms 106 and 34. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them. Because you read about, the books of, Joshua, Judges, 1st, 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings. There were times where the most crazy, in my opinion, one of the most dire examples would be when King Saul didn't wipe out Amalek, right? Whom the Lord had indignation against forever, right? Amalek is a part of Esau, Edom. He didn't completely wipe them out like how the Lord commanded him to. Okay, that's an example of that. And they mingled among these other nations. There's a couple of different instances of that. So the Lord was angry, of course. Right, verse 35, but they were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. Okay, and let me read Ezekiel real quick and then I'll go back. Ezekiel 36 and 18. Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to the doings I judged them. Right, and that's exactly what happened. And back to Psalms 106, verse 40. Therefore was the wrath of HALALYAM kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance, right? Because Israel is his chosen people. Okay? The Lord did not know any other nation. He only knew Israel. By no, I mean no other nation was close to YAHAWASHI. He didn't give them the oracles, right? He didn't deal with any other nation like how he has dealt with Israel. Okay. Verse 41, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. The heathen hated us. They took crafty counsel, and they ruled over us. Their enemies also oppressed them, just like how we're oppressed to this day. And they were brought into subjection under their hand. Many times did he deliver them. Read the book of Judges over and over again. It was a cycle. But they provoked him with their counsel and were brought low for their iniquity. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry, and he remembered them for his covenant. He remembered for them his covenant and repented according to the multitude of his mercies. Right. So although the Lord was justified in bringing that punishment upon us for sinning and going against him, he still had, the scriptures say he has respect unto Israel. And he's like, I'm for my inheritance, for my people, for my namesake, right? I'm going to go ahead and save Israel and bring a remnant back unto me. He's always dealt with a remnant that did not, forsake him. Okay. So we were always brought back. Just like how we're brought back now. Well, that leads me to Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am HALALYAM, their power, for I give them an heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. Yeah, although a lot of us had to die, a lot of us had to get put to death and destroyed. Okay, not all of us. Like how they want to say that Israel was cast away and all that. Well, it tells you in Romans that hath Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI cast away his people? Yahweh forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the tribe of Benjamin, the seed of Abraham, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption. So y'all cannot stop it, all right? Just stop it. Because the scriptures prove you wrong time and time again. You can't go against the word of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. For Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is the Most High. He changed not. Okay? So you're trying to make him out to be a liar. And you can't do it. Okay? Yes, this is the truth. All right? Verse 34, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. True. For Israel, what does that say? That's in Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. Okay, John 3:16. This is the world that it was referring to. The world of Israel. Not nobody else. Not anyone else. Okay? So that was all the scriptures I had highlighted, but I'll go ahead and get that in Romans that I mentioned. or one of the ones that I mentioned. Romans 3:1. What advantage then hath the Jew, or what profit is there of circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? Yahweh forbid. Yea, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and close that right there. I just wanted to make this simple, straight to the point. More than 3 precepts, but that's how we get understanding, through thy precepts. Okay, this is only for Israel, but don't just be all discouraged and all in your feelings and offended. Well, if you're offended, then that means that you just can't receive the truth. And keep in mind that just because you are so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, West Indian, or Haitian, that don't mean that you're an Israelite. You could be a damn, like how brothers say, you're a chocolate-covered Edomite or a chocolate-covered Ishmaelite or whatever else. The scriptures say not all Israel is of Israel. Matter of fact, I'll get that. Okay. I believe that's also in Romans. In Romans 9, verse 6. Not as though the word of Yahweh hath taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Okay? Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Okay? That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. So it is through the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? Because just because you're the seed of Abraham, that doesn't mean that you're an Israelite, because Ishmael also came from Abraham, you know. Esau also came from Abraham and Isaac, right? But then you have Jacob and the 12 tribes. So yeah, it's not according to the appearance. It's not according to even your place of birth. It's not according to the language you speak. You know, it's not according to, you know, how you grew up or anything like that. It's according to the spirit. That's why we have to read Romans 8 and 16. Okay? You know, it's not entirely on one thing or another. It's through the spirit. Because sometimes you look at a so-called white person and they grew up they were dealing with the curses. You ask them some questions and you're like, oh shit, you know, you didn't have your father growing up, you know, or you got, you know, pockets with holes in it. You know, that's not to say that every homeless Edomite, right, is an Israelite, because that's just the wickedness of Esau, Edom, and his kingdom, because his own people are suffering. And hey, now the curses are coming upon our enemies. That's a part of prophecy, you know. So it's really like case by case. The scriptures say YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI judges man, whether it be a man only or a whole nation. Okay, so the scriptures say you know, we have to hear the small as well as the great in judgment. Okay, so it's really like YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI is dealing with who he's dealing with, and we have to judge each individual through the spirit. That's why anybody that comes up, we're not just gonna group them like, no, you're an Edomite, you know, you're going to get ready for slavery. No. Okay, we're gonna ask them questions. We're gonna see how they react to certain things, if they just get offended, or you know, how they say certain things, you know, how they say the names, if the name is dreadful to them or not, and things like that. We're gonna you have to try the spirit. You have to prove everyone. Okay, so just like certain things are dead giveaways as well. But basically, you know, it's not, you know, it's simple, but for, you know, talking to an individual, it's not that simple. Okay? It's not complicated, but it's like, I'm not just going to say you're an Edomite, you're done. No, we don't know for sure. Okay? It's not for us to judge like, hey, this is it, and salvation is not for you, and that's all. We'll say that about the nation, because we know the judgment of the nations. All right, Israel is going to be saved. The 2/3 are going to be destroyed, but they're going to come back in the kingdom through the loins of the elect. Esau, Edom's nation as a whole, the whole nation, the so-called white man, right? Because that's who you are in modern terms. So that's why we say that. But we know the judgment of the whole nation. Okay? Is to be destroyed, is going to slavery, is to be recompensed for what they've done unto the Israelites. Okay? But little Timmy across the street, I don't know his judgment. I'm not going to just say, hey, little Timmy, you're an Edomite, you're going to be put to death, and you're going to, come back in slavery. I can't say that. So, you know what I mean? So, we just have to go, operate through the Spirit, but I don't want to ramble too much. But, hey, that's the Spirit, because the brother was like, hey, well, sometimes you just got to make sure a motherfucker understand your point. So you just go into detail and detail and detail. So that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to go into detail so you understand. Because I know that there's always going to be new listeners, coming from maybe news, media, whatever, clips, World Star, that are like, no, y'all are racist, y'all a hate group, and you guys say that all white people were into slavery. No, man, if you really understand, if you really want to be sincere and honest, okay, because at one point y'all gonna have a problem with us saying, oh, this is this. The Most High doesn't hate. The Most High doesn't love everyone, and there are some nations that are gonna be put into slavery, and the Lord only loves Israel. Okay, and the kingdom is only for Israel. But then you also have a problem. These other guys have a problem with us being like, well, no, actually, hey, Steph Curry and his children, Blake Griffin and his children, Drake and his children, they're actually Israelites, even though they look like Edomites. Like, oh, Bruce Lee's and is an Israelite. Y'all want to give everybody the kingdom. Y'all want to say everyone's an Israelite now, just because they can dance, just because they can sing. No, that's called being carnal. All right, that's called y'all can't be pleased. Well, good thing we're not here to please men. Good thing we're not here to appeal to you people. It's if you're sincere, you're going to have understanding. You're going to get understanding from YAHAWASHI. If you're sincere, you will have questions, and we'll answer your questions accordingly. Okay, so I just, that's just how I am. I just want to drive the point home. But that's enough. All right, so I pray that, this was edifying and coherent and uplifting and, exhorting. All right, through the Spirit. The YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI KAYAHA RAWCHAA QADASH bestowed upon me to bring out this lesson and push forth this word. Keep pushing, keep praying, keep fasting, keep enduring, keep striving for the truth unto death, and YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI shall fight for thee and keep abiding in the faith. All right, DTA, Abad Babal, Kwame Sharala, stay strong, we're almost home. Shalom, Wabarakim, Lahabachayar, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. YAHAWAH Shem YAHAWASHI, Ratazari may be a part of that number. And blessings, honor, glory, and power be unto YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI, Them Yad forever. Shalom.